That's what's up, tubes. Welcome to the green room. Please help yourself to the off-brand Oreos and flat Sam's Club soda. We will be starting any moment now once we are out of the green room. Please enjoy the sounds of White Bat Audio as well. Yep, they are our green room band. The house band, of course, always being Slothfist, but you know what? White Bat Audio is up there as well. Enjoy it. I've got some questions for you. I'll get to them once we get to the show because I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, but you guys will have a little bit of control. So let me just keep getting things set up here, and before you know it, you guys will be watching old commercials and occasionally maybe answering questions of a trivial nature. Fosco, man, are you kidding me with this? Like, PM me, Jesus Christ. You just blow up my spot there in the regular typing square. Welcome, Kayla. Thought you were gonna be right back after you were done fishing. Right, finishing washing the dishes. That makes more sense. But maybe you live in a salmon hatchery, I don't know. All right, people, things are, the tubes are warmed up and everything. I'm running on very old equipment. I'm an old man. Let's see what they got here. Boo, boo. All right, you did not win yet. Good news. Nothing's actually started, so we're all well and good. So, with that being said, let me push this button. I'll pull this down, and then I'll do this.
Dog. Cat. Mouse. Turtle.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Welcome to the show. My name is Dave. It is Taco Tuesday, as you can tell by the shirt. But you know what it's time for? It's time for another show here on FFOP Radio. There's the guy from last time. You know what? There he is still. It feels like it's been forever since he won that game. Has it been more than a week? Probably not. I don't know. In studio, of course, is my co-host and producer, Krista.
Hi.
I almost said Kayla because I saw her name right there, and I was like, whoa. So, this is it, guys and ladies. What I've got for you here is, classic FFOP game show, but we can do this one of two ways. Depending on, whatever the populace feels like, we can do classic rock or, like, classic 90s or, the 20th anniversary of Trivial Pursuit, which is basically the 90s. Mm-hmm. Of course, we're going to be breaking it up with some commercials. Found a nice, juicy compilation for you. So that's what we got going for you. Do I have any other housekeeping that I have to get rid of? Probably not. Here's the thing. This was mislabeled. Yeah. So what I thought was going to be a boucher is actually a watermelon. And here's the thing. Watermelon fermented, at least to me, not great. This has also been augmented with some cherry, I believe. Didn't help it.
No, I don't taste the cherry at all, and I am the one who mislabeled that.
So
there's that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fine. Mistakes happen. It's just kind of a bummer that I was like, oh, yeah, I can't wait for a nice hit of caramel because it's obviously that's the peppers in there. That's what I do and everything. Get some heat, get some sweet, and it's just like this disgusting watermelon butt flavor. Okay, so classic rock and 90s trivia. So you got to pick one, though, Fosco, right? Like, we can't just say, well, I could alternate. There's no rules. We're making them up as we go along.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah, so here's the thing. We'll do both, and you guys will never know which one will be which. Johnny Gilbert will be here, and we'll get a couple of fat people out of the audience to put on some stupid sweaters. P.S. Here's the thing, though. Like, 90s is going to be classic rock now, right?
Pretty much.
Because when early aughts to mid-teens, when I was an electrician, the classic rock station, which out here was still being presided over by Alice Cooper.
Was the 80s?
70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Some early 90s, but now we're probably sliding into that. Like, shit that I like is now going to be oldies and classic rock and shit. But who's, like, listening to the Beatles or, like, Gary Lewis and the Playboys or... I mean,
I can see people listening to the Beatles more than the other one.
But as, like, an experiment. Like, no young person now is going to be like, oh, yeah, the Beatles. Like, whoa. Because, in retrospect and in hindsight, the Beatles, it's like building blocks. They're very fun when you're young, but then you outgrow them, and that's what they did. They got things moving for other people, and they're sort of the fundamentals. Anyway, let's not talk about the Beatles. Let's go ahead and
talk
get
about cars.
some Cars trivia going. Guys, you guys know how much I love cars.
Okay, they're ready.
Great.
Where's the Heinz?
Hey, baby.
Where's what?
Where's the Heinz? I knew you'd forget it. You said you wouldn't forget it. No. You forget it.
Forgot it.
She even admits it.
I don't know. Here's the thing about this commercial. I'm sorry to stop so soon, but
No, you're not.
in the 90s, right? Ketchup was a big damn deal.
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah.
I remember a commercial where, like, this dude, it was like a 50s, because, like, in the 90s, the 50s were big. So it was like that 50s commercial, and they're all, like, outside of a sock hop, like, Sonic drive-up diner with a bunch of neon stuff. And there's a dude standing there holding that bottle of ketchup, and he's waiting, and his friends are like, hey, we got to get out of here. He's like, he's waiting for the ketchup, and he's like... So his friends fuck off and leave him, and then they come back, and, like, because he takes his time, ladies love it, so he eats his fries with some hot ladies. I don't know. That's the thing. Ketchup was huge. You could hide your intentions from your boyfriend with it.
Kayla wants to know what kind of cars do the lolcows drive in the Middle North?
None.
Yeah.
That's the thing about lolcows. Or no, I guess Chris Chan had his his fleet. I think the latest was like a Ford Escort, like that blue one back in the day with the Sonichu logo on the license plate. But yeah, most lolcows don't drive because they can't typically. That's why they're stuck online.
Especially my hot dog. You know I won't eat it
misogynism,
without...
right, guys?
Yes.
Without you joining me.
Heinz, it just doesn't taste the same without it.
Don't put ketchup on a hot dog.
And she didn't even shake that bottle. That's the water is coming out of that thing.
Right, because he was such a dick. He deserves a fucking fat,
Watery
watery
hot dog.
bite because he was but not for nothing. P.S. Why was she holding the ketchup? And if all he was interested in was the ketchup, what else was in that bag that she had to go get? Right?
Right.
He's like, I need the ketchup and that's it. It's a whole bag of stuff. He puts it down. She puts it down. What else is in there, bitch? Come on, man.
You don't put ketchup on a hot dog. You're supposed to put it in the bun next to the hot dog.
Yeah.
Mansplaining ketchup.
You can't get any better.
But you can get
This isn't mansplaining. This is right-splaining. I don't care who has this opinion. It's the right one.
different.
Mars.
It just happens to be me.
Now Mars bar with almonds.
Weren't chocolate commercials in the 90s so goddamn decadent?
Yes.
Derv-splaining. There you
Telling
go.
everyone that no one ever
Derv-splaining.
tells you he's listening. It's the same thing with bad breath. No one ever tells you, be sure. Use Claret.
feels like a
Claret
Tim and
when you
Eric
want to be
sketch.
sure about your breath.
McDonald's introduces omelets you can hold in your hand.
Come on.
P.S. I feel like everybody should know by now you should keep your ketchup on the pantry or in the pantry on the shelf, like at room temperature. Like everywhere you go, it's on the counter. Go into a Denny's, on IHOP, any diner.
We've always kept it in the fridge.
Which is stupid. We did it as a kid. You know, when I was a kid, we ate ketchup too. Why? It's full of vinegar and it stays good by itself. That's the great thing about it. Same thing with mustard. The only thing that ketchup got you by being in the fridge was like cooling off your piping hot burger or whatever and making it suckier.
We used to just everything that was opened would go into the fridge, like within reason. Like my grandmother used to put English muffins in the fridge.
I don't need to. We don't go. Everything was in the fridge. Moral of the story is ketchup don't go there.
Muffins.
Hold on to a great new taste, an omelet you can hold in your hand.
You're kidding, a what?
That's right, ham and cheese or bacon and cheese.
Hang on to the great new taste.
Whoa, was that the ME from SVU?
Omelet McMuffin.
Really?
Yeah, ham or bacon with melting processed cheese on a buttered toasted English muffin.
An omelet you can hold in your hand.
You got it.
The way this person said processed cheese makes me think we've stumbled into, and that is definitely the ME from SVU right there. Right? Come on.
I need to see her not making a stupid face, but it kind of looks like her.
Tamara What's-Her-Face, that's her eating McDonald's.
Time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Yes, processed cheese. I think this is Canada.
There's something special about Bounce.
42 degrees Celsius where Matt is, which is 108 degrees Fahrenheit. Damn, it's hot and down under.
That's a nice summer. But it's only 108.
The outdoor fresh fragrance seems to help us, well, smell clean.
Every Denny's and IHOP I've been to has the AC cranked up to the max. Therefore, keeping it on the tables equals keeping it refrigerated. Check and mate, says Kayla.
I mean, if you're walking into like a geyser freezer, like where are you? Like, yeah, Village Inn, I'll agree. They keep that shit like at rock bottom temperature wise because everybody who walks in there comes in like 2 coats, even here in Arizona.
Well, yeah, because
like
they're snowbirds.
117 outside. No, in the summer, like the natives of Arizona. Once you get past a certain age, it's like whatever. Throw on the 2 coats. The extra one will be for the walk to the car. We'll keep the 2 on in the Village Inn because you know they'll crank that and like. Whatever, like, but all those like 24-hour Denny's, they keep those at like a balmy 80 degrees. Like, no one in a 24-hour Denny's is not have sweat on their upper lip and like beads on their forehead. It's just uncomfortable.
And nothing beats Bounce for getting rid of static. No other fabric softener does as much.
Softer?
It's the perfect touch. The Bounce touch.
It's perfect. Superman?
In a rapidly changing business world, staying ahead means keeping in touch, no matter where you are.
Whoa, the internet.
Your
Just
telephone
kidding.
company is your communications
It's a fact.
lifeline.
That's
You're part
hilarious.
of this country's most comprehensive national telecommunications network.
what is so important do you think that he needs to like jack into a public phone a la Hackers? Like he's Angelina Jolie and Matthew Lillard rolled into one businessman. And he's like, yep, got to receive a fax because I couldn't have printed this out at home. I had to wait to go to the airport.
Right.
The fuck? Oh, yeah, that's another thing. I don't eat at restaurants anymore. Moral of the story is, yeah, any public condiment is probably just a wasteland of bacterial infection just waiting for a compromised immune system.
Yep.
You know, from your mouth to God's ears. But then again, look at all those old motherfuckers who eat at Denny's and stuff. Like, they make it through the day. So, I mean, I feel like we probably make things seem more dangerous than they are. Because if, like, it were a problem, because, like, if you stop and think about it, anything can be gross. But if you stop and think just a little bit longer, you go, like, well, where are all the people, like, dropping dead of tainted restaurant ketchup? Or, you know, diarrhea all the time.
It's just not reported.
Right. But you're going to get stuff like, you know, diarrhea again. And you go, well, was that Denny's or was it the ketchup at room temperature? You'll never know.
Nope.
All the voice, data, and image services you'll need today and tomorrow.
I love how we're still talking about ketchup, which was the first commercial we watched.
Ketchup? Ketchup, I guess.
For over half a century, your phone company and others have shared in a national commitment. By combining resources, we can...
You guys remember when companies were so young, they had to be like, we've been around for 14 years, and it's AT&T.
offer you Canada's most advanced communications.
Damn it, it's Canada again. What's up with that?
Fingertips. This cooperation
Rogers
is
Mobile.
Telecom Canada. Telecom Canada means more than long distance. We're office messaging.
You can also receive faxes
voice
at
and data,
airports
human
and stuff.
resources, research, and development, all under one roof. And as close
Wow, Julia.
How did you go your entire life without faxing?
I worked in a medical office since I was 15, and everything was faxing.
Right. Well, maybe that's the thing. Not everybody's had the same sort of rainbow of careers I've had. So, yeah, but whatever. Even like at the Burger King I worked at, they had a fax. I never liked to use it, but still. Pretty crazy, right? I mean, it's just like using a phone. Except for instead of picking up and going, hello, you're sliding in a paper and hitting go.
Yeah. This is the longest commercial ever.
Am I right?
is your phone. Telecom Canada.
What are we learning?
Your communications lifeline.
Canada.
Consumers, when you want to, put it on. Pick it up.
Pull out your soy jack faces, you mindless consumers, and what are they, wages?
At Consumers Jewelry Boutique. Join the gold rush. Pick up imported 10-karat gold chain from Italy. Get superb quality.
Look at this green rock.
This is a close cousin to like the black or white void. It's like, why not just shoot this in a park or with some trees or whatever? Because like on the ultra tight shots of like the dude with the headshot where he's like having to hold the, like who holds like a ring box and like, what's wrong with you? Come on, consumers.
Consumers Distributed.
It's painted foam that looks like rocks. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the 50s and 60s, it was falling on people painted brown who were actually white. So, yeah, comes full circle. Classic Perlman, right?
Darkest hour. Something terrible is...
Nice, Kayla. Kayla says, we used to get unwanted ads on the family business fax machine, so we fax back black pages to use up their ink.
That's hilarious. And okay, so getting faxed an ad is probably the only thing, like the only sliver in time that's thinner than the window that pagers had.
Yeah, because when I was 15, so 20 years ago, was when I started working at a PCP office, and we had a fax machine. Every morning when I would go, I'd go through the faxes, and like there's 10 ads just like there in between.
Every once in a while, by the time I was using a fax machine, but like Jesus Christ, that's fucking okay. So maybe pagers probably lasted shorter because I remember being an adult like long after pagers had been dead, and I go, "What is this?" And I showed it to my boss. Like, "Oh, it's an ad." I go, "How'd they get our number?"
Though lovers be lost, love shall not, and death shall have no dominion.
Is that Sarah Connor?
Anyone who loves Vincent already knows what it is to be frightened.
The 2-hour season premiere, Beauty and the Beast, Tuesday at 9 on Global.
You haven't seen the Ron Perlman Beauty and the Beast? I haven't either, but I know of it. How's that? It wasn't a show. So, Yeah, it was kind of like a made-for-TV movie, The Perlman Beauty and the Beast, because they did a quasi-retcon reboot or whatever, like in the early aughts, called Beastly.
Oh.
It's the same thing. It's one of those, like, but back in the day, it was made for TV. Now it's like straight to Netflix or straight to streaming. Same bullshit. This is your brain on rock. What the? What is this a commercial for?
Breaking free from
Not smokers.
smoking.
Whatever happened to the something rotting, teeth staining, smelly puking habit? Right?
Not in Canada.
That shit was obviously not in Canada, but it's like not in the 90s too. I think it was like late 90s, maybe early aughts, but like whatever that thing was, like that. No advertising was more like impactful to me than those smoking commercials. Like when they would like that David Lynchian style like body horror where it's just like a girl in the bathroom like and then she's like covered in like open sores and oozing pus, she's like vomiting maggots and stuff, and I go, Jesus.
I don't remember those, but I just remember like the people talking with the
Whoa, it was
the
a
trach.
miniseries? I'll be damned.
They had the trach in their throat and they had to like keep closing it, kind of like how Val Kilmer has.
Like they did a couple of shock and awe. Like they did the weird body horror and then they did the actual body horror, which is like even worse.
Dear, come along and we'll do something special to help you breathe.
I'm a giant hand.
Vicks does that because Vicks brings soothing relief to sniffles, coughs, and sore
We can way over medicate you.
Yeah.
And then we'll make some meth.
Like Vicks Vapor Rub. We'll put Vapor Rub special medicated vapors to work on that stuffy head. And you'll feel much.
Can't we adjust the size of the hand? It's like creepy when it's applying things.
Oh no, it caught you too. Well, let's.
Whoa, is this like this dude just has a giant fetish? He actually got to indulge it. Like he didn't have to call a sex line and pretend like someone was holding him in his hand as he jerked it. That's crazy. Sounds like Nikki chuckles a little bit, yeah.
Get some today.
Hey, are you coughing? You got a problem with your thing? Get some Vicks 44 today.
Who cares? Because someone does. Vicks Soothing Cold Relief.
Two dudes? It's the 90s. How progressive. She's marrying the chocolate. I hate these commercials where like huge moments are missed by like consumer products. It's like, oh, I was eating a Milky Way. Sorry, I missed our wedding.
Didn't realize they were being nursed by Paul Bunyan.
Right? Paul Bunyan's lady, or maybe his mom, his mom.
Experience the power, the pure
Kmart!
power of love.
God damn, do I miss CD compilations.
Yes.
I love the love songs. I love power ballads. I loved, the classic butt rock compilations. There are some songs that are just tied to my brain in that sequential order of hearing them on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or whatever.
I used to collect all the Now CDs.
Turtles is everybody's grandmother's favorite candy.
Carly Simon, Luther Vandross, Toast, Dolly Parton.
I love that song, maybe sort of ironically, but both of those singers are horrifyingly ugly. Every time I watch that video, I go, Jesus. And thank God for the 80s when you can still be ugly and produce good music. Now you have to look good and produce shitty music. Oh yeah, Nips. I used to spend my allowance on some Nips, my friend. Chocolate centers.
The power of love.
Love
Volume 3
quality.
From Quality Records. It's in stores now.
Quality Records. And with that, we'll take a break from our commercials to play a little game. So check it out. I'm going to pull this first card. It's classic rock trivia. I'm just going to read them all. Then we're going to watch some more commercials and,
1 point.
That's how it goes. Yeah, for the first round. So buckle up, people. Here's your first question. Which song on Carole King's Tapestry album warns that you just can't fake it? Which song on Carole King's Tapestry album warns that you just can't fake it? I'm not someone familiar with this, but there you go. The Dirty Dancing song is classic, and I like it. I like their voices. It's like the Carpenters. She's a great drummer, and she's got a great voice. I don't like the Carpenters' music, but I can appreciate it. It's Too Late is correct, Kayla.
It's too late, baby.
Yep, it was, and that's how you knew, because there was a song or an album about it. Yep, there was a song. Bam. You can't make up albums. All right, people. Yeah, classic, right? I don't know why, but all of the music I hear out in the world is like the new pop, rap, R&B stuff is. But out of nowhere, I just keep getting hit with these like classic singer-songwriters of the 70s. They'll just take me, and I get moved by the spirit. And I got to say, Alexa. Anyway.
Fosco says, oh my God, my grandma used to sing that song when I was in trouble.
Really?
It's too late, baby. Your ass is grass.
I do remember hearing that song like diegetically rather in my own life. And I probably when I was in trouble a couple of times too, yeah. All right, what annual festival takes its name from the word meaning extraordinary that the organizer heard in a Three Stooges movie? What annual festival takes its name from the word meaning extraordinary that the organizer heard in a Three Stooges movie? Yeah, from the compilation commercials, it was there. Oh, man, what was that? Some of them, I don't want to get into it because we'll just spend a whole night. Lollapalooza is correct, Fosco. You nailed it. Bingo. Classic sounds of the 70s. Power ballads. Beach Boys' best hits. Bonnaroo. Close. All right, here we go. All right, I guess I didn't know this. Were Jackson Browne and Glenn Frey of the Eagles neighbors, cousins, or brothers-in-law? Were they neighbors, cousins, or brothers-in-law? Pretty easy. 3 of them you just got to pick from. I got to pull it out. Yes, neighbors, says Rod. And yes, it is neighbors. They were Jim neighbors. They were both Jim neighbors. No, yeah, they were neighbors.
Wow.
But that's the thing. Everybody has to move somewhere to get famous. And since Hollywood is a certain amount of square footage, it's only going to make sense that a bunch of famous people bed down.
Yeah, I guess so.
With each other. I mean, come on, people. What's the term that gives... What term was given to the brightly colored, swirling, drug-induced images seen on many late 60s and early 70s rock posters?
Oh, Lord.
What term was given to the brightly colored, swirling, drug-induced images seen on many late 60s, early 70s? Boom! Kayla, you got it. Psychedelic is correct. Blumpkin with a close second. I think that is way funnier than psychedelic, but it says psychedelic on the card.
That's funny.
Yo, where's my mushroom dealer, you'd say back then. All right, who co-stars with Elton John on the popular Face to Face concert tour? That makes sense. I mean, I don't know anything the Devil's music. Who co-stars with Elton John on the popular Face? Billy Joel is correct. I imagine since they both play piano, they were probably like playing.
Yeah,
staring into each other's eyes from across 80 feet of piano.
They were so good together. I remember watching their concerts and stuff like on TV or whatever. I love Billy Joel. I play We Didn't Start the Fire like all the time in my car.
There's something about like live piano music that's, I don't know, it's different than just like a regular band because they have a piano bar in downtown Tempe and it's always banging. And I went there and I could see why. Like, it's awesome. Like anybody on a guitar, if it was just like a band, you go, it's just a band or whatever. If it's two dudes like wailing away pop songs on two pianos, there's just something magical about it.
Yeah. I've never been there, but I'd like to go one day.
It's like being at a Billy Joel and an Elton John concert. If you've seen that, you're there.
Billy Joel and Cars don't mix.
Well, because Randy Newman was probably doing that shit, right? Because what else is he doing? Billy Joel and Cars. Well, just he, goes together just as good as Gary Busey and motorcycles.
Oh.
All right, which Seals and Crofts hit was successfully covered by the Isley Brothers? Ooh. Which Seals and Crofts hit was successfully covered by the Isley Brothers?
Ooh.
I like this song. Summer Breeze is right, Rod. Rolling in the jasmine in my mind. I had that song in my head day earlier, too. What a weird coinky dink. I used to think, and this is obviously stupid because I probably either saw a commercial or whatever. There was something that was tipping me off. But like when the Simpsons were on Thursday nights, and because the new ones are on Sunday, so the real ones we get an hour on Thursday. So I'd go, and while my parents were playing handbells in the church choir, we'd be watching The Simpsons. And sometimes in the middle of the day, I would get a flash, like a whole scene from The Simpsons, and I go, "Oh man, one of my favorite scenes. I'm glad I remembered that." And 7 times out of 10, that episode was on that night. I was probably seeing the commercial and being like, "Oh, it's another Simpsons," like forgetting about it and being like, "Whoa!" But I was convinced at some point I had some sort of Simpsons related ESP. It was insane. Anyway, so that's the first car. Let's get the commercials back and we'll get rolling again.
Recently, DuPont discovered people with great carpets had to make great saves.
We also realized that we were poisoning the planet. Our bad, guys. Sorry about the microplastic.
Sorry.
So DuPont developed certified Stainmaster carpet. Now even if
Stainmaster.
Why was anyone standing on that part of the carpet? Bullshit. Don't do that.
Sooner or later, you're
Just
going to
rub it in.
What party? Like, who are your friends? They all stand on the outside of the room and just throw cake and wine into the middle of your new white carpet? Where are we? Is this hell?
No.
Take this, you bitch. Ugh. Flips it up into her face.
The metric unit for measuring the fuel consumption of your vehicle is liters per 100 kilometers.
No, it's not.
Of course,
this is
not
America.
every vehicle uses the same number of liters of fuel to travel 100 kilometers.
You're kidding.
Check it out for yourself by writing to Guide, Transport Canada, P.O. Box 8880, Ottawa, K1G 3J.
Hey, can you guys do that for me? Also, P.S., like, what is up with other countries and all your fucking crazy numbers and letters and shit? Like, go easy on that shit. I realize the world's a huge place, but, like, you're just doing one of the countries. Knock it off. You don't need a serial number.
J2, you'll see.
Friends are only great James in the Chappelle Show.
Is better.
Metric boo. That's one metric boo. That's what ghosts say in Canada.
Hey guys, I got it!
An album? What the Whoa, is this Reboot? Oh man, they got the Canadian version of Lawnmower Man. They're all gonna turn into like brain damaged sluts. Just like that lady in the Neighbor. You guys know Lawnmower Man? He turns her into a brain dead slut, guys. She was a slut before, but he fried her in the machine. Pierce Brosnan was there. Pee-wee's Playhouse on Acid. This is what's psychedelic. What are we learning? Canada's what?
What? Put this CD in and you'll be on drugs?
The first Fruit Ninja.
Real fruit flavor.
No. Cough drops.
Vitamin C. New Vicks Vitamin C drops.
That's another thing that popped when I was a kid, like late 80s, early 90s. I remember just being inundated with not only vitamin C commercials, but like supplements from my parents. Like we're always getting orange flavored vitamin C things because somebody blew smoke up all the parents' asses of the 80s, especially here in Arizona. One of our 5 C's is citrus, and we spend most of our time outside absorbing the sunlight. And like, since oranges are plentiful, hello, what are we doing here?
It's good.
It's the month-end liquidation sale at Manuel's Furniture, 510 Selkirk Avenue.
From which movie?
Appliances by Admiral.
Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Dishwashers, washers and dryers.
I don't know what he's talking about.
7-piece dining room suites from $9.99. Sofa and love seat sets from $3.99.
30. Okay, 12 point. I mean, man. Oh, yeah, Lawnmower Man. There you go. Yeah, Stephen King. Yeah, because the original story was about like a satyr who mows the dude's lawn, like eats a gopher.
Oh.
Whatever.
4-piece oak bedroom suite is just $13.99. Credit card.
I mean, we can all agree that Maximum Overdrive is dead to rights. Like, that is exactly like the book.
It's welcome, or Manuel's will arrange financing on approved credit. The huge month-end liquidation
Canada
sale
dollars.
at Manuel's Furniture.
Manuel in Canada.
Prices are low and discounts are high.
What would you call a place where they eat radishes and plastic
Fraggle Rock.
buildings for dinner?
Architecture is meant to be enjoyed.
Where they work only 30 minutes a week.
Sometimes I put in 2, maybe 3 minutes of overtime.
And they think we have something in common with E.T.
That hole is outer space.
They call it Fraggle Rock.
It is thus.
I mean, if they think that through a hole is outer space, they don't conceptualize E.T. I mean, no, there's no way.
Called because it is a rock, and Fraggles live there.
Fraggle Rock for little people.
P.S. That old dude is the same old dude, the old Fraggle dude who goes to the Fozzie's grandma's house for the Christmas thing. And that dog. That finally clicked. I was like, oh, God, I can't remember where he was from because I remember knowing where he was from when I was a kid. And he goes, oh, I just want a nice, quiet Christmas. And he's dealing with the Fraggles all the time. Then he's got to deal with Fozzie and the rest of those butt wipes.
It just came out a week ago.
It's fresh.
22,407.
What?
Big Mac or McRib?
Filet of fish or McChicken. You can always have a choice.
Look it.
Fun fact, the old guy is fuck-ass guy in the Boondock Saints.
No. No way. There's no way. He's dead by then.
Bartender Tourette's.
If that's true, I'm impressed that he lived that long. But then that's kind of an older movie now. What is time?
Right. Where are we?
Plus, I haven't seen that movie in 10 years, so maybe you're right. And that's just crazy.
Shawshank and the movie Big Fish are superior to the source material for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's all hit or miss. And that's the thing. Books don't lend themselves to feature films. Short stories do. We've talked about it, and we'll probably talk about it again. But what we're going to be talking about right now is the movie Cars. Because what I believe is...
Don't forget your change, sir.
I was going to leave my change.
Your break is always waiting.
Come and get it.
But that pickle dude got fired, right? There's no way there's like a room full of open jars of pickles just like rotting away now. And him and his frumpy wife are there. And the boss is going to come in and be like, hey, Joe, what's up with the fucking pickle machine? Fries!
1990 GM
That's what it'll say.
announces total commitment to your car.
Oh, God.
I promise to stand by you with genuine GM.
Goddamn, did GM put out some beauties in the 90s, right, guys? Everyone loved the way a GM product looked in the 90s.
My best men.
And do you faithfully promise the total warranty on this car?
I do.
Bumper to
For
bumper.
3 years?
Fries might be cold,
Bumper
though.
to bumper?
I do.
The 1990 GM
Double
dealer.
cheeseburger,
His
no
commitment to
catalytic
service
converter.
is total.
I love cars.
Sometimes it's
I love the cars. I have sex with the dudes.
easy to get carried away.
P.S. That guy who loves his car and has sex with his car named Chase, he's still out there having sex with his car.
Suddenly, you find yourself out of
You
control.
guys see that video of My Weird Obsession or whatever?
Oh, God. No.
Use
Corner's so
Trojan
sharp you can bisect a pedestrian.
Yeah. Yeah, the pedestrian like fatality rate must have skyrocketed. Like after, because like in the 60s and the 50s, like those cars looked beautiful, but like they were just basically tin cans. There was no structure. So like if you were just a stronger than average pedestrian, you'd probably be okay. But like by the 90s, they were turning you into just like roast beef, like cold cuts if you hit flying into the air all sliced up.
Time you read it, you'll be surprised. You'll believe the taste.
Is this a cracker?
Of your eyes, 'cause it's written all over your face. It says fiber on the box and crispy in the taste. New country fiber, new kind of cracker. It says fiber on the box and crispy in the taste. Try country fiber, new from Christie.
Here's a hot take. The only pipe that you can shove more shit into to fix the problem is your butt pipe. if it's in a shower, if it's in a sink, any pipe, anywhere, you want to get, something to work. Get it on. Get a snake. Get in there. Humans are like, you know what? I got a clog. Let's send some more clog in after it. At least it's crispy.
Fiber on the box and crispy in the taste.
We asked the world's greatest tea lovers to describe the superb taste of red rose tea in their own words.
I taste of fine. It's absolutely straddling the milk. And I think if I went down to the farm...
Absolutely spiffy. I mean, so right.
Unfortunately, we had no idea what they were saying.
Racist?
Yes.
Until we told them Red Rose's unique blend is only available in Canada.
Oh. Pity.
Why'd you bring it to the UK?
Yeah.
Penalty.
Fiber in her box.
Penalties for the boo box. Finest hospital grade tea. Oh yeah. That's what I want to do. I want to walk into a restaurant one day and be like, hey, feed me like I just came out of hernia surgery. I want off-brand, disgusting gelatin snack in a, not even like a pleasantly shaped cylinder. It's just like the classic,
yeah.
I want dry, like a sandwich that's like peanut butter and jelly you got to make yourself. That's like a slice of wheat and a slice of white. I want like chicken noodle soup that was boiled until it's now just like a murky liquid with nothing whatsoever of texture in it. Ah, damn. It's good shit.
Amstel Light.
Beer commercials really haven't changed. Yeah, no.
No, you just spray it with water, splash some water at the camera, and then you show someone opening it because you can't watch them drinking it. And then, just as you move along, you go from like the Carpenters to Rat to, Trapped, whoever your beer commercial.
How would a country fiber cracker taste that are being dipped in red rose tea? Probably gross. Well, it wouldn't be crispy anymore. It'd be a soggy
fiber rose fart. P.S. You guys couldn't afford a couple of fucking lights? Like, this guy looks like a fucking monster. This dude is the mad scientist who brought this dude to life. And he's like, hey, it's like, Young Frankenstein. Like, this is Gene Wilder. This is Peter Boyle. And he's like, hey, monster, you want to go sell some mattresses on Canada TV? Yeah, that is a power stash.
You'll find the
Power
most
of lightning.
competitive rates in town. Super customer service. How about free customer pickup anywhere?
He kind of reminds me of like a shrunk down Richard Keel. For those of you who don't know, Jaws from James Bond. Also, he was the big guy in Adam Sandler's golf movie. I don't like Adam Sandler.
We have an impressive fleet of fine GM cars and trucks, as well as cargo and passenger vans for rent.
Dude doesn't move at all. The other guy sways back and forth.
This dude does definitely seem like a 7-year-old at a recital. Like, you can see down here, he's like grabbing his jacket a little bit, sort of fidgeting around, like, GM is best. I'm a tree,
It's Tex Cobb.
Convenient location.
It's Randall Tex Cobb.
And open 7 days a week. And at the Birchwood Inn. At Value Rent-A-Car, we rent shop.
Dude with the stash was totally wasted. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. I want a Shasta Cola, off-brand PB crackers, and a plate of questionably cooked cod and overcooked vegetables.
Fosco's right. He was giving off the tism. But he had that power stash.
Slap.
Andy Tex Cobb. I want the outside edition.
She was only 14 when she won our hearts in the '76 Olympics.
And then Larry Nassar and that whole thing, and we don't want to talk about it.
Nadia Coleman-Each. But after winning the gold medal, she spent more than a decade under the communist oppression of Romania. Now, with Eastern Europe opening up, Nadia's a free
Now she's
woman.
dancing in America.
She escaped to freedom with the help of her boyfriend. An exclusive interview.
Can you believe it with that haircut? I know, right? Wink, wink. It's the 90s.
With Nadia.
Oh, Lord.
You've heard the horror stories about medical malpractice,
Mm-hmm.
but the problem is worse than we thought. A new study
Is it?
says you're more likely to die from negligence in the hospital than in an automobile accident.
In the 90s. In Canada.
He was a teenager making the big bucks on TV's Different Strokes, but Todd Bridges couldn't handle it. He turned to drugs, and then the charges of attempted murder. Now
true.
he's straightened out and a free man. On Inside Edition, a revealing interview with Todd
Nice
Bridges.
glasses.
And a lot of those dudes like just blew out once their shows were off the air, like Webster and everybody. Please tell me we're not going to watch like a whole
This is
issue
just the news
of like Canadian Inside Edition. Okay, I think it won't take long. Huh? I think it should pull down for fucking Bill O'Reilly Classic over here. Let's just go ahead and skip ahead.
Daily alarm.
Hey, P.S. I have one of those. G-Shocks never go out of style, bitch. They work forever.
Oh, look, it's that.
It's going to beat the crap out of Vanilla Ice.
Consumers Distributing.
Todd Bridges was great on those True TV's Blankiest Blank. What was Todd Bridges on? TV's Blankiest Blank. I remember TV's Craziest Police Chases.
A high-efficiency
But that guy was
furnace
very,
gas
like,
furnace
no
can save you
nonsense.
up to 45% of the fuel used by your present heating
He looks
system.
like he's hanging
and
from
with
the
Furnace
ceiling.
Man, you're guaranteed expert workmanship. Camille Dorge has 38 years experience.
God, no one in Canada in the 90s had like on-camera presence or charisma. They all had a touch of the tism and stood there like awkwardly waving back and forth and like chewing on their sleeves.
Dumbest
And like other
criminals.
employees, he owns Furnace Man, so
Blankety
you know
blank,
he cares
dumbest.
about
Oh,
the
yeah,
standard
yeah.
of his work. Furnace Man has been established in Manitoba for over 40 years, and our experience is the
Furnace
foundation of our
Man.
future. And I'd say that even if my name wasn't Brian Hampton.
Which it is, by the
energy
way.
for today and tomorrow.
Are you sure this is gonna work, Grandpa?
Nope.
Nope.
Trust me, kiddo. And now, silver shovel. Thank you. Grandma's fruitcake. Grandpa's magic pine cone. In 2 weeks, we should see some.
Fuck Grandma's baking.
It's time.
He drank that Coke for 2 straight weeks.
Yep.
It's a dedicated
Trying
grandpa.
to tighten that tummy, struggling with ordinary sit-ups? Now, work smarter with the Abdominizer, the intelligent alternative to sit-ups. Look,
Nice.
the Abdominizer.
Oh my God, this brings back memories. So,
Look at that plant.
If you go to a big church, yeah, we're in a void with a plant. If you went to a big church as a child, you probably went to your fair share of like rummage sales and saw a fucking country mile of these things that, you know, I never was allowed to buy one because it was like, oh, why would you want that? It's a waste of money. I grew up always sometimes going to the snow and never having a sled.
Yeah.
So when this presented itself multiple times, I'm like, it'll work as a sled.
Yeah.
Never allowed.
Mm-mm. It's for crunches.
Targets the proper abdominal muscles, so each and every sit-up is made more effective, safer too. You can have a
you
tonier
can
tummy in weeks.
hurt your
Best
neck.
of all, it's so simple. The unique rocker mechanism lets you rock your way to a firmer stomach. Look, ordinary sit-ups can torture your tailbone.
Oh, my
It's not
butt.
worth the pain.
I designed the Abdominizer to produce an
Look at me.
automatic
I'm
pelvic
dead as
tilt,
Colanello.
which better isolates the abdominal muscles and makes exercise safer
He
for your
missed his
lower back.
calling.
The curl works upper abdominals. Raise your knees and tighten lower abdominals
Yeah,
too.
as long as you
the
move your body,
Abdominizer,
this'll
just $19.95.
sit under
the
you.
intelligent
Look at
alternative
this piece
to
of
sit-ups.
plastic.
Get your
Oh, God,
Abdominizer
please let
today.
there be a Suzanne
Now
Summers.
available at these fine stores.
But this
Zellers,
is Canada, so did you make it
Woolco,
there?
The Bay.
7-minute abs.
Look at that Simpsons.
What about this? 6-minute abs.
Simpsons, Towers, Consumers Distributing,
No,
Kmart,
not 6,
and
7.
Woodward's.
As long as you keep your hands to your sides.
Hi, honey. I thought you had a headache.
I took aspirin.
Clinical evidence proves aspirin brings a...
I thought you had a headache.
Are you in your own house? Where was she, in a bed? Where was she?
No, not 6. Yeah, like, fancy dinner party. This is the same bitch who, like, has all her friends come over and run around the outside of her room.
Effective relief fast.
What is that graph, by the way?
I thought you had a headache.
I took asprin.
For millions,
I was
aspirin
video
has been proven
calibrating.
to bring relief in minutes.
What do you want, aspirin?
Okay, let's do it.
I thought you had a headache.
I took aspirin.
Was this before like people knew what migraines were? Because I understand what a migraine is. I can get one of those, and it can take me down for hours to days, depending on how bad it gets. So I get that. Like I realize that that's not like one of those goofs like I think fibromyalgia is. But back in the 80s, you could just be like, "Oh, I got a headache," and just call off of shit.
Right, yeah. Oh, wow. Where was that aspirin when you had a headache last night?
Yeah, seriously. Oh, honey. It's like, oh, well, where's the aspirin? Now I'll know. Like, because that's the thing. If you're a lady who wants to get out of sex with your husband via a headache, don't tip the hand that aspirin is the cure. Just say it.
Today's aspirin in tablets or caplets.
That's today's aspirin.
Fast.
No cyanide.
Mild-mannered, unassuming Eddie Essex has his own way of dealing with city life.
He hides.
Extra dry for men. Keeps Eddie Essex super cool all day long.
Hey, do you have a headache?
Why don't these people own cars?
Got my Lotto 649. How about you? Of course. Played Encore, too. Encore? It's a new lottery. Gives me more chances to win.
That way I go from 1 in 718 15 billion zillion to 1 in 486 billion trillion. So I'd be stupid not to give them the extra $5. Because the lottery is not, and I repeat, listen to me, Steve, the lottery is not a self-imposed tax on the poor. Whoever told you that is a fucking liar.
See that
Now
number
buy your
below
ticket.
Lotto 649? Yeah. For $1, it could win you up to $250,000. Really? And you could even win by matching down to the last number. I could win with the last number? No, I can't. You didn't play.
Now, when you play
bitch.
Lotto 649, say yes.
Look at the
to
Scantron
Encore.
sheet.
Chad went home that night and won $34 billion. Steve killed himself.
Oh.
So if this number comes up, you're going to be real sorry.
Yeah, the lottery's a sure thing. So these two dudes, I mean, they both played. One of them's got to win because the odds are so good.
Yeah.
Steve, a falling star landed in McDonald land.
You'll make the perfect gift for Ronald.
But when
A lot of numbers.
twinkled, it didn't.
You see, Bertie and Grimace, a star can never belong just to me. It belongs way up high for everyone to
belongs to
see.
all of them.
So let's wish him home where it'll twinkle and glow.
And up the star flew.
Not a chip at all,
thanks to his
Fosco.
new friends below. Happy
I do
holidays
like
from McDonald's.
getting scratch off tickets for like when somebody else buys them for me. I like doing them 'cause it's fun.
Yeah, it's the perfect gift from like a lazy boss or a checked out relative because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, whoa, it's kind of fun and I didn't have to foot the bill and whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're one of those people, I beg you, like, reconsider. Anyway, it's time for some more questions. This, regular questions. They're going to be worth 5 points apiece, even though those ones before were maybe harder, maybe less. I don't know. I haven't read these ones yet. Buckle up, you. What actor is depicted in a 9-foot-tall bronze statue at the Orange County, California airport? What actor is depicted in a 9-foot-tall bronze statue at an Orange County, California airport? Everybody's got bronze statues everywhere. The Bronze Fonz is out there in Detroit. Who is in Orange County? Oh, man, wouldn't it be great if it were Jim Varney? That'd be awesome. But no, Rod got it. It's John Wayne. It is John Wayne. But boy, oh boy. Here's the thing. If I ever get stupid rich, you better believe my house is going to look like Pee Wee Herman's house, except like dedicated to my taste. And you know there's going to be a fountain in the front with a full-blown life-size version of Ernest with his nose getting bitten by his turtle. I mean, you can't stop me. All right. John Wayne, bingo, 5 points.
Yeah.
What hairband waxed an ode to strip clubs called Girls, Girls, Girls? It's a little secret trivia for music that snuck onto the other card.
Oh, snap.
Who sang that song? Right, guys? Girls, Girls, Girls? Ever been to a strip club? Motley Crue is correct. Van Halen sang Hot for Teacher, another sexy song you'll also hear at a strip club.
Yep.
I once saw someone strip to a Gorillaz song, and I was like, all right, that's indie.
Huh.
What? So who got that? Kayla, 5 points.
Yeah.
What U.S. president did Ted Koppel scold for not putting the nation's welfare ahead of his own in his memoir, Off Camera? That is Ted Koppel's memoir, I imagine. What U.S. president did Ted Koppel scold for not putting the nation's welfare ahead of his own in his memoir, Off Camera? Superintendent Chalmers. No, not Reagan. Not Bush Sr. We're dancing around it. Not Reagan again. You guys are right.
I have one.
Around.
The only guess I have is
Nixon, Ford. Bingo, Rod. You got it.
Yeah.
Clinton.
That was my guess.
It was Bill Clinton. Ted Koppel.
He didn't put their needs before his own getting a blowjob.
Right, but like that's the thing. I guess what were standards and what are they now? Like I'm sure when he wasn't getting blown by interns, he was doing work sometimes. Like he wasn't taking over 75% of his time off golfing somewhere, like other presidents may or may not have. Something like that. Whose Pulitzer winning novel, 1,000 Acres, recreates King Lear on an Iowa farm? Whose Pulitzer winning novel, 1,000 Acres, recreates King Lear on an Iowa farm?
That book name sounds really familiar, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know who this is at all. I mean, apart from she might be related to a Sesame Street character. But Steinbeck, no. I don't know, man. It's not Stephen King.
But his name.
Do what now? Do what now? Do what?
Lord Armstrong and taken abroad.
Marty! 7 years! No, not Lord Armstrong.
Years.
Not Bill Clinton.
Oh.
Jane Smiley. I assume related to Guy Smiley of the aforementioned Sesame Street
I cheated and looked it up since CNJ tab.
You motherfucker. All right. Yeah, that was a weird one. Anyway, what firm's $200 million ad campaign to hype its products as reliable was interrupted when hackers crashed its website for 4 days?
Wow.
What firm's $200 million ad campaign to hype its products as reliable was interrupted when hackers crashed its website for 4 days? Not Chevy. But, you know, those GM buttholes needed... It is Microfont. Bingo, CNJ Dev. Microfont it is. Bill Jates. Microfont. Took it down for 4 days. Can you believe that shit?
Jewel.
All right, here's an answer no one's going to know, but... Jewel, hey, that's classic. Oh, wrong spelling, though. What Guru's Academy did GQ call the Juilliard and Betty Ford Clinic of the tennis world? Right? Like, what Guru's Academy did GQ call the Juilliard and Betty Ford Clinic of the tennis world?
We have a local car dealership called Reliable Chevrolet, and I jumped on the name.
We have one of those. Yeah, no one's going to know this. I mean, number one, tennis. Number two, GQ. What? Graft? I don't even think I can pronounce this dude's name. It's Nick Boyateri? Nick Boyateri? No one got it. Don't worry about it. We're moving on.
To most people,
do you want to know what the
deafness
scores
means
are
not
right
being
now?
able to hear a baby crying, or a fire alarm, or a telephone ringing.
Or a
To
chicken
people who are
hatching.
hearing impaired, it means isolation. Isolation from conversation. Isolation from people. Isolation from the world.
But that's the thing. If you're born deaf, you're not going to know any different. Like it's kind of annoying when humans confuse like what's the word that I'm looking for? Like I know better, or I know because I'm right, and it doesn't matter what you fucking think. Like people who feel sad for people born blind or born deaf, you go, oh, I feel so bad for that person because they can't X, Y, Z. Don't feel bad for that person because they've never been able to experience that. They don't know what they're missing. They can't even conceptualize it. The person who had it and then lost it, that's a different story. But like feeling bad for lower animals or different able things, if they were from the start, that's all they know. It's all they feel bad about.
Yeah.
But like it's on you to be like, oh, I feel so bad you can't do it. Like, oh, look at. It's fine.
Every day, the Canadian Hearing Society helps people with
Oh, good night,
impaired hearing
Kayla.
break
Sweet,
out
sweet
from isolation.
overtime.
But they
Adios.
can't do it alone. This year, give more
Like 60% of Canadian commercials are like PSAs.
sympathy to the Canadian
Or
Hearing
if they're
Society
faking it
Foundation,
like Stevie
60
Wonder.
Bedford Road in
You
Toronto.
think he's faking it? I don't know, dude. You seen his eyes?
Now the Shreddy's action sub. Yeah. We'll surf it. With a little help from this magic baking powder.
Magic.
I had those, dude.
I've never had those.
I could kick myself. Get me, skunk. Ow.
Here comes a big
I get it. Whoops. Okay. But
That's the end.
like toys and cereal did the same thing that Cracker Jacks did, although it was later. Like earlier on in Cracker Jack history, it started out as like shitty stuff, then it got good, then it got shitty, then it disappeared. Cereal went the same way, except it started out great. We had color-changing spoons and ships and submarines and any sort of toy or science gadget or movie-related tie-in. And it was just like a beautiful thing because it was like a genuine goddamn toy. It wasn't like a sticker or a rub-on tattoo.
I do not remember ever getting like toys in the cereal. Like I used to get like Cocoa Puffs and stuff, but maybe by the time
yeah, it doesn't take like time doesn't take much of itself to wipe out things.
Yeah.
So like when I grew up longing for all of the cool toys that were constantly being marketed to me in cereal, by the time I was 11 or whatever, gonzo.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, well, if you want, you can send us like 3 proofs of purchase and wait 6 to 8 weeks, and we'll send you a copy of like Chutes and Ladders. And I was like, fuck that.
Right.
Like, what kid is gonna be like, oh boy, I'm gonna save some proofs of purchases?
Well documented, he's full of it.
Passes to Cineplex Odeon. 2 soft drinks, and don't forget 2 popcorns, all for just $6. 2 for the show. A great gift found only at Sears.
Sears.
But you're not going to be watching a movie. You're just going to be buying movie-related snacks and walking around Sears.
The Yuletide brings adventure.
Julia remembers the lightsaber spoons in Kellogg's cereals.
Right. Spoons were always a big one. Like 3 out of every 5 toys you'd get would be a color-changing spoon or a spoon that had like, it would light up or play music or whatever. Because it was just like, obviously, it lends itself because spoon. A heavy favored second, straws. Curly straws, color-changing straws, etc.
Yeah.
Now you'd be like, Jack Lemmon is right. But if you put that prize in your mouth, what the fuck? Your eyes open?
All my little Smurfs look so happy. This may be the best holiday celebration we've ever had.
Chex Quest was probably the last, like, real, notable, like, I'm sure in the Roman Empire, like, that last great emperor who came around and, like, you're like, oh, maybe you can turn Rome around, then it fell apart. That was Chex Quest.
Christmas Eve.
It's like all those Sneak King and Burger King games.
But Christmas I despise most of all. Just think of those miserable blue Smurfs out there, making their little presents, exuding all their love and good cheer. I won't have it. I won't.
Like, I get I don't know, maybe the 80s were a wilder time and no one was checking, but like the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, like no one involved with that, like saw any of the material for this. It was like, hey, wait a minute. That's not creepy. Singing softly as you're about to get ripped apart by a wolf.
Yeah.
Canada?
You are invited to a special evening honoring the people behind the scenes of outstanding Canadian television. The 1990 Gemini Technical and Design Awards only on
Whoa, the
YTV.
Technical and Design Awards?
Everyone into the pit, salacious crumb. The next prisoner, Gamorrean cars. Gladly.
Does this do anything for you, Julia, now that you're a fan? Fucking trash.
Excuse me, Mr. Hut. You've captured my friend. Free him and keep me instead. That's a sorry tale, but this tale will make you sorrier. Guard, get the road.
You missed.
Get him in the end, Jabba.
Oh yeah, I think David had some of those Welch's jar.
Yeah, of course I did. I still have them. We still have at least one T-Rex and one of the Tom and Jerry's. But back in the day, I had them all. They were the Looney Tunes run, the Tom and Jerry run, the dinosaur run. Had them all.
Sold separately from Star Wars Return of the Jedi Collection, new from Kenner.
I don't know, man. That's Jabba the Hutt is one thing I would not necessarily get hard over, but you know, some people like to get boners over people stepping on bugs. So who am I to judge? I'll tell you, a rational, level-headed individual.
Oh yeah, Peanuts had a run too. Yeah, I think I remember having a Peanuts one.
And baby Miss Piggy, a different one every week while supplies last.
I remember this shit. Even back then, I thought this commercial was stupid. I'm like, why do these fucking adults?
Yeah.
Baby plush toys for a limited time at participating McDonald's.
I had some of those too.
Zero creativity.
Don't do drugs!
About all there should be in the street.
It adds more life into our everyday world.
I don't think there's anything wrong with people just sitting out there and singing and like making people's day by doing something beautiful.
Is there someone on the other side of that fence? Like someone walked up to her and was like, I think that people shouldn't sing and make people's days. And she's like, I take the opposite. 43124.
Long time ago. Still remember how that music used to make me smile. Thanks.
All we wanted to do was just get out on the street and play.
Surely this program is bringing only good to Canada.
I'm going all over the place, trying to do a little bit to make somebody feel happy.
It's part of my mission.
Did I win?
One day some producer might climb up the train and discover us. To get the instrument, get more people to see it and hear it and take an interest in it.
If there's one thing that like stodgy executives love, it's doing things outside of the proper channels. Like they don't hold their position in high authority and use it to gatekeep and power, use it to exude power over others. No, they're all well-meaning individuals. They're going to hop off a train in Canada and be like, hey, you, that's a great steel drum. Would you like $1 million?
Being yourself, that's what it's all about, you know what I mean?
Oh, but February made me shiver with thanks.
I remember
Thanks.
anything I could remember the words to, and maybe not, you know, anything I could remember like 2 or 3 words to.
It's like Dave Mustaine a little bit, right, guys?
Singer, and I love country and western music. I spend a lot of
Please be an anti-drug PSA. Please be an anti-drug PSA.
Busker festivals.
Busker! Oh! When was the last time you guys went to the store to pick up your favorite busking CD? Remember in the 90s, it was like classic hits of busking, you know? All the classic busking hits, 2 CDs. I can't remember any of the songs, but they were there, right? Busking compilations.
It's like a mechanical violin with a wheel and keys like a piano or accordion. It sounds like a bagpipe and it barks like a dog.
And it busks like a busker. Yeah, but Peter Boyle.
Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take one more step. Well, I think.
At least he's kind of funny. Like,
So is this so busking is just
busking
performing?
Is just, it's panhandling with a guitar or a piano.
So like Too Many Zoos and Lucky Chops and stuff.
Busker's greatest hit.
They're busking when they're in the subway.
Busking is just hanging out, waiting for money for doing something instead of just asking for it. So I'm not against it in principle necessarily.
Just busk a move. Hey man, Too Many Zoos is so good. Leo is fucking amazing on that saxophone.
Oh, it's like Freddie Mercury quit Queen, faked his death, and decided to play the bongos, busking in Canada. That's Freddie Buskery.
Last couple of centuries. And just to survive, they would send their kids out.
Did we somehow slip into a busking documentary?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we're in Canada either, because that guy had a Hoboken sweatshirt on.
It depends. It really depends on the day, the time, the weather.
As I'm saying, I'm taking my music to go further afield in my career and hoping that I'll make a success of it.
Yeah, I'm going to start busking here. Maybe later I'll busk all the way over there.
Mm-hmm.
Sick time. Well, it's thank you. Well, thanks. Well, thank you.
Any requests?
I'd like to announce this number, folks.
Oh, like vines.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.
Let's get real close to his face.
The easiest way to choose a new sled this winter is to go where you get your biggest choice.
Elder Enterprises and Odyssey Park Limited give you that choice. That's the
Yeah, like when I watch like Too Many Zoos and stuff, and they go live and they're in the subway, like when people donate, put the money in, they don't stop and like say thanks. They just kind of like give them a nod.
Was a comedy bit that we saw, obviously. But busking and this, keep in mind, this is like before the internet, right? Like there's a million different communities, and in each of those communities is a billion different niches. So I'm sure there's a busking community alive and well on YouTube. But the fact that it's like pre-internet, the fact that these things can get so big always blows my mind.
Well, who's
out there IRL trying to find buskers in your local neighborhood, like with flyers or whatever?
Right. When we used to go, because we used to take the train and the subway to New York to go walk around the city or go to a Yankees game, you'd go through and there'd be tons of people doing various things. There were always break dancers.
Right. And
with crowds of people.
Here's the thing, is like it takes more than just being good at something to be famous. And I don't think anybody on the street realizes that. Like you can be the best at whatever you do. But if like you're bad with money or you're a shitty person or whatever, I mean, it's obviously like talent can spring forth from any vessel. I mean, the problem is like, what do you do with it? Like, if you take it to the streets, you busk, then you're a busker. I don't know what to do from there, right?
You'll find all the riding features you're looking for in the 8 Snowmobile Safari Collection.
We got cruise control.
Make it easy on yourself this winter. Go where you get a Skidoo model to choose from.
Skidoo!
Skidoo.
And Odyssey Park
I was calling them ski-doos.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were called.
But now we know it's a skidoo. 23 of them to be precise. Now we've got some more questions coming up, guys. Check this out. Reg's ass, not Reg's ass. Well, I guess Reg's ass classic rock questions. What song did Prince originally write for the Family before it became huge for Sinead O'Connor? I imagine the Family is an album. What song did Prince originally write for the Family before it became huge for Sinead O'Connor? Huh.
How many points are we doing?
Let's do 15. What song did Prince originally write for the Family before it became huge? The Family is probably another group that he wrote a song for. Nobody's going to get this, probably, because who was listening to Sinead O'Connor back in the 90s? Anybody? No? It's shocking, right, guys? What's up with that? Nothing compares to you is correct, Jameson.
Woo!
Can't believe anybody got that. Nothing compares. I mean, it's to you, the number 2 and the letter U. But I'll take it.
I mean, he got the whole thing.
Sinead O'Connor. There it is. Hot damn. All right. What band helped organize the Altamont Free Festival, then pulled out at the last minute because of increasing violence? That's your biggest hit? I don't know, Sinead O'Connor, Jameson. What band helped organize the Altamont Free Festival, then pulled out at the last minute because of increasing violence? I will with violence. It's not the Rolling Stones. Yeah, wake up, people. Sinead O'Connor had a lot to say. She ripped that. Back in the day when I was young and like that hit, like she ripped up a picture of the Pope. And everybody was like, oh man, she ripped a picture of the Pope. And like as a kid, I was like, who cares? Somebody did. Not you too. It is not you too. There's no hint I can give because I don't know any of these. I mean, I know one person of the band, but that would be way too easy. Like he's got a Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor named after him.
U3.
That's the dude. U3 is close. The Grateful Dead is correct.
Nice.
They pulled out of the Altamont Free Festival after the increasing violence. Turns out if you get a whole bunch of people together for free, like just even a little bit of like a gatekeeping concept, right? Like whether it be you got to bring a can of food or it's $5 at the door, it's 50 cents or whatever. That little bit will keep out most of your riffraff. What band's members first played together when Tom Schultz met up with Barry Gordeau and Jim Masday at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Fuck. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing any of these names right, so good luck, people. Sorry about that. What band's members first played together when Tom Schultz met up with Barry Gordeau?
Weezer?
No. And Jim Mazdu at Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
What band member went to MIT?
It was Boston. Bingo. I assume if you know any of Boston's band members' names, that would have been easy, because you'd hear my mispronunciation and be like, oh, it's Boston.
Boston.
I don't know any of, like, I know some of their songs, don't know any. That's the thing, too. It's like if you've all been through this. There's a point in your life where, like, all music and all movies just come from, like, the same company. Like, any movie that comes out is just a movie. It's made by people who make movies. All just sort of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So everything in your life that's a one-hit wonder is probably going to get filed away under the same band until you realize that different bands are different things. I've got so many songs in my head that I had to proactively wipe out the band that I thought they were because they weren't. Because your one-hit wonders come along, you go, oh, isn't that so-and-so? You go, no. That's nobody like that. I don't even know who they are. They had one song. Stop talking about them.
I don't even watch baseball.
They're supposed to be here today. In what music-packed movie do two high school grads spend a final night cruising before heading off to college? Classic, speaking of George Lucas, I think this is one of his. What music-packed movie do two high school grads spend a final night cruising before heading off to college? They are cruising the Vista. American Graffiti is correct, Fosco. Bingo. They spend it cruising.
I've never even heard of that.
My older cousin liked it growing up, so I saw it a couple times, but it never stuck with me. I'm sure maybe now as an adult it could be different, but I couldn't identify with leaving high school to go to college and driving a hot rod because I was a child.
Harrison Ford's in it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, there's a lot of famous people in it, but that is one of those ones that was just like, whoop, over my head. Whoop. All right. What superstar duo increased their fortunes thanks to the Verve-based Bittersweet Symphony on an adaptation of The Last Time? Really? I didn't know that. What superstar duo increased their fortunes thanks to the Verve basing Bittersweet Symphony on an adaptation of The Last Time? It is the Rolling Stones. And I had no idea that was... I mean, I guess the Bittersweet Symphony part is just that hook slowed down, but like, how petty can you fucking be? I mean, whatever. Last one for the card, people. When he was a kid, did Eddie Van Halen earn a few extra dollars baking cakes, selling popsicles, or delivering newspapers? When he was a kid, Eddie Van Halen how did he earn a few extra dollars? Was it baking? It was not cakes. It was newspapers. Bingo. But then, like, I don't know what to do with that kind of information, right? Because you go, I mean, you hear that stuff all the time. Pick X celebrity. You go, do you know that before they were famous, they did stuff just like every other slack-jawed, dirt-belly loser like you and me?
My God.
Like George Clooney had to work a job once, and you go, my God, they're just like us. Of course they are. Like, if I ever get famous, I'll tell you about the time I worked and I got to see one of my coworkers fuck someone who he picked up at a bar in the same hotel room as me. And when I'm famous, maybe someone will give a fuck, but, right now, that's just an annoying story that's a part of me that I have to deal with every day.
Whoopi Goldberg was a mortician.
That's the thing. Everybody's got a little, Harrison Ford, Carpenter, everybody was something, like, nobody was born an actor unless you're one of those weirdos. And then by the time you're born an actor, you're 15 and on meth. So, watch out.
What's that term we watched something and they were talking about when your family member's an actor and you're like, You're like
legacy artists or Nepo baby.
Nepo baby. Yeah, that.
Yeah, and how can you not, right? I guess, like, I'm of two minds because, like, Stephen King writes good books. Hypothetically, I'm not a huge fan. But then if you like that, wouldn't it make sense that you'd want to read his son's books?
Yeah.
But I'm also of the opinion that, like, and whatever, this may just be me, but it's like someone in the orbit of your best friend. Like your best friend's dad, brother, cousin, someone, like they're part of the same clan, so they get a pass as being cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a hollow imitation of the thing you actually like.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to see any Nepo babies unless they're okay, but that's the thing. It doesn't matter if they're okay or not. They'll get checks cut. Like, what's the Smith kid? He was in a bunch of movies, and everyone was like, why? And they just like, because, and then he would be in another one.
The light in your refrigerator.
Are there drugs in there?
This is an anti-drug commercial.
This is your refrigerator on crack. Oh, it's
Labatt's.
Taste of dry comes to a light beer.
We're back in Canada again.
I mean, what's a sweet beer?
All beer commercials have that font.
On March 31st, Rob Boyd will ski Whistler for money. Maybe your money. In the Fuji Downhill Dash for Cash. There's $1 million in cash and prizes, including a Saab 900 Sport.
Look at that baby. Oh my God. 90s like the peak. The pinnacle of automotive design.
No, get details wherever you buy Fuji Film or Fuji Cameras.
You guys still buying Fuji film out there?
He's clearly running. Murder. She killed that guy that was walking towards her.
He was
Or
a ghost.
Asshole.
You gotta deliver trees to the brewery. Fuck the orphans.
Clydesdales.
Bring you Budweiser. Wish everyone in
Budweiser.
Ontario a safe and happy holiday season.
I like the frogs in the Budweiser commercials.
Special.
Smooth.
Tasteful.
Elegant.
Who brings a touch of class to a glass of wine?
Hot color.
What?
What? The fuck? She got dressed up to drink again with the tight camera work.
Yeah.
Like, she was getting dressed up, like grabbing pieces of accoutrement and stuff. So I'm like, oh, we're going to see her like do a little dance number. No. For all we know, she was nude, wearing a hat and picking up a cane and drinking a beer at her dining room table.
It was wine.
Whatever.
Hi, folks. I'm Martha Ray.
Hi.
You know, I was never embarrassed about coming on TV and telling people I wore dentures. That's me.
Really?
Tell it like it is. And now I'd like to tell you. There's a powerful polydent for all denture wearers. A super strength polydent. Look, a mean food and coffee stain. Even that's no match for the cleaning power of super strength polydent. It gets mean stains clean, even in between.
Whatever, this fake teeth they always have to use, but like, what is up with... I don't... Because here's the thing. I had an aunt who wore dentures, and I did not know that she wore dentures until one night. She was, most of my family was from California. They came in for one holiday or the other, and there was my Aunt Dee Dee fucking going to town with a scrub brush on her teeth. I go, what the fuck's going on up there, Aunt Dee Dee? She go, oh, I'm cleaning my teeth. And everybody just took for granted that she had dentures and I was supposed to know this. So I spent the next 15 minutes without people seeing me trying to yank out my maxilla. I was like, whoa, I know you can do that. So I was looking for a
clip.
A clip or a
Snap.
seam I can stick my finger in there. So finally someone's like, it's dentures, they're fake teeth. And I go, what the fuck are those?
My favorite beer ads from back in the day were the "Was Up" ads, but I was annoying little shit back then.
Oh yeah.
Was up?
Fucking worst.
Look, Watson,
I mean, obviously I don't put a top hat on to drink. I got to wear these headphones.
an average sort of footprint, huh? Exactly, Watson. And the solution to the crime. What? You are a man of a hearty 90 kilograms, are you not? I, a lithe 70 kilograms. Yes, but...
What are kilograms, Holmes?
Watson, but considerably deeper than mine. I'd put a man at 78 kilograms.
Also, he's probably at the end of these footprints that lead to this door. Sherlock was needed for this case?
Ooh, cartel. Easy, Holmes. Metric, Watson.
With the metric commission. Hell yeah, I got Tetris, bitch.
Fuck yeah, Tetris! Crack those eggs, Tetris boy!
There's a lot of games here.
Whoa, these dudes are playing with power.
You better have Tetris on that b-ball court.
It's batteries and Tetris included? Amazing.
I love Tetris.
Not only do they include Tetris, like mind-blowing, but batteries too? How could Nintendo afford to hand every kid 6 AA's?
Nintendo word.
Yo, I'm playing with power.
Damage caused by everyday styling soon adds up. VO5 hot oil penetrates and conditions your hair deep down. For daily damage, get the weekly repair. VO5
I wonder if I can get that now.
Simon, Theodore, and Alvin get into some mischievous but well-meaning trouble in A Chipmunk Christmas.
Well-meaning trouble.
This was like a Christmas song staple in our house.
I never, like anything out of the 70s and 80s cartoon-wise mostly sucked. Like for syndicated, like Chipmunks, even when they rebooted it later, there were just some things that just did not. I was like, why can this continue to exist? Like, is this not annoying to anybody?
I liked the Chipmunks and then the little girlfriends.
Give me the squeak one.
I look so tired.
Theodore, Simon, Alvin.
Dave? Like, Dave's relationship to Alvin and the Chipmunks is more confusing than anybody's relationship to Huey, Dewey, and Louie. All they have are aunts, uncles, and cousins. Where is their core group? Where did Dave find these chipmunks? Who birthed them?
A Chipmunk Christmas. This
Alvin,
Friday at 7:30
don't
on
tell that fake
CKNX
Santa
TV.
anything.
RONS. Ron Stereo and TV introduces Iowa, the ultimate.
Guys, I'm going to Ron's.
Iowa has what it takes and more. Portable components in a full range of.
Wait, so you want me to just hold still like this? Yeah, that's great. It'll be for the commercial. For the commercial. That's a video. And you want me to just hold still?
Yes.
Ever so often jostling as
You're
my
doing
muscles
great.
get tired.
I had the made for VHS movie Batmonk, a spoof on Tim Burton's Batman movie.
And craftsmanship.
Yikes.
See the tremendous selection of Iowa stereo systems,
Iowa.
cassette decks, and portables.
Oh,
Super selection, unsurpassed service at Ron Stereo and TV, 957 St. Mary's Road.
God, every business in Canada is just like, hey, it's Manuel's, it's Ron's, it's Gary's. Like, come on down and get a hot dog and a VCR. Anyway, buckle up, guys. Here's our last question.
Ooh.
So this is going to be worth like 20 points.
Just one?
No, card.
Oh.
Last questions. Who are the likeliest to die while at work in the U.S.? Garbage collectors, roofers, or taxi drivers?
That's a solid threefer.
Most likely to die on the job? Presidents, Not part of the...
He didn't wait for the 45-second delay.
Not roofers, and it's not roofers.
Is it taxi drivers?
Also not taxi drivers, so this should make it pretty easy. I'll give you a hint. There's a profession that does a lot of crushing.
The third
The
option.
shredder got killed this way. Was it the third option? It was actually the first option, Fosco.
Well, of the three, it was the third one that's left.
Garbage collectors. Because Casey Jones is always sneaking up behind you.
Sanitation engineers, they're called.
Oops.
Are we giving it to anybody? Guys, we don't know what the delay is because you gave the answer.
Right. Give Fosco half the points. 10 points. Just for fun. A quap. A quap. I'm not going to be arrested. What record label did rapper Jay-Z named after a famed U.S. industrialist? Yeah? You guys know what Jay-Z's obscure record company was called? Rockefeller is correct. It wasn't Carnegie Records. It's Rockefeller. Rockefeller. Robber barons, am I right? Like them and hip-hop go way back. What interim CEO walked out of a CNBC interview after being asked why it was taking so long to find a permanent replacement? What interim CEO walked out of a CNBC interview after being asked why it was taking so long to find a replacement? Ken Lay, no. Vanderbilt.
Iacocca.
Not Iacocca. This is the 90s. Iacocca was probably dead by now. Interim CEO. I'll give you a hint. He's smelly and a bunch of people who like to...
Vince McMahon.
No. Art Vandelay. Close.
Jeff Skilling.
He's the CEO of, like, if you're not... Oh, God. How do I say this? Like turtlenecks? Guys? Wozniak is so fucking close. Come on. You say Wozniak, but not this guy?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Wozniak
or what this
was
is.
this dude. There you go. Thank you, Jameson. Steve Jobs.
Oh.
He came back to be, they kicked him out of Apple and he came back and whatever. He smelled. Everybody blew the iPhone until everybody realized that it was not as good as, hand jobs is right.
Gerbs.
I read this magazine. It's called Steve Jobs. Steven! Why, Steven?
I have books that I read.
All right. 3 questions left, people. What Umberto Eco book finds brother William investigating the grisly murder of monks? What Umberto Eco book finds brother William investigating the grisly murders of monks? Is it bigger than Stuyvesant?
Stuyvesant. Why?
Look at that all the top of your head, Stephen. You don't think none of that fell off? It did. It did, Stephen. You scrubbed and you wiped, but you couldn't get it all, Stephen. Stephen.
50 Shades of Grey.
Monk murder mystery. Yes. No one's going to get this. Like, these literary ones, are too new.
What's the question?
What Umberto Eco book finds brother William investigating the grisly murders of monks? No one's going to get it. It's The Name of the Rose. Ta-da, you weren't going to get it. But you might get this one. What company mailed out over 1,000 versions of CD-ROMs deemed needless pollution and destined to become antiques of the digital age? What company did that, guys? America Online is correct. Former intern Julia, AOL. Who else was sending those out, right? I mean, for every 400 you got from AOL, you got what? One from Juno? One from,
yeah.
What was that other one that was HughesNet or whatever?
AOL sucks my D.
That's my D. Hilarious. But I don't know. I had a friend who had AOL, and I was low-key jealous because every time he got an email, it said, you got mail.
You've got mail. I had an AOL.
I go, whoa. Never had an AOL account. Couldn't afford it, apparently. Male breasts. All right, people. Last one. And I'm not liking the answer. Because it's another tennis related.
Oh, Jesus.
No, we're not going to do that. Fuck that. The last question be a tennis question. Let me find a good answer. Okay, this one maybe. All right. Ooh, Matt, if you're here, what soft drink company launched Australian vending machines that allowed users to charge a drink to their cell phone bill in 2000? In the year 2000. God damn. What soft drink company launched Australian vending machines that allowed users to charge a drink to their cell phone bill in 2000? CJ Dev, it is not Pepsi. But it's not Fanta. It is Coca-Cola. Damn. Like in 2000.
Yeah.
But like what was I rocking in 2000? Probably my Qualcomm or maybe my Nokia. How was that? Like, and then just imagine using like 2000 era internet on a soda machine that you're trying to get to process to your phone bill?
Mm-hmm.
Yowza. All right. So with that out of the way, that's the last question. It's time to tally up the points. So Krista, who is
our winner this week is former intern Julia with 55 points.
Woo!
Coming in clutch at the end. Then we had Jameson with 50, Rod with 47, Fosco with 26, C&J Dev with 20, and Kayla with 8.
Not bad, except for Kayla.
Well, she went to bed.
Not bad. So there you go. New name up here next week. I'll find a nice sticker because I got lots. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. We saw those Canadian commercials. You answered some of these questions. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
For this show.
Yeah.
Side note, if you want, the pinned comment in here, we're trying to open up a meadery. If you'd like to support that in any way, shape, or form, you can check the pinned comment. And, there you go. If you want to help us that way, support the whatever, go for it. There it is. Hoping to get something up and running.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for spending your time with us. I appreciate it. So in a couple days, we've got more coming, and I might go big with this next one, but we'll see.
I feel like we went big last time too, because he was annoying. What's his nuts? Was it Chandler Halderson?
Right. Well, it's another familicide, but the kid is on the spectrum, killed his mom, did some other crazy things to her, and then is totally candid about it with the police.
Oh, that guy.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's like...
I think I know who you're talking
as
about.
forthcoming as that Jeremy What's-His-Nuts, but like not as like creepy, like murdery. I mean, obviously he's a murderer, but whatever.
Right.
Anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. We'll catch you next time on another Radio.
The Good Doctor.
It was the Good Doctor.
For the try to
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.